when I decided to put together a set of leaders to talk about their leadership skills and experiences at various levels, it didn't occur to me, shamefully, that the most important person in every club, in every district, in every area, in every division is the member. Without the member, the rest of us have no reason to exist. And so when I put together a program that would include all those other outstanding leaders at area directors and district directors and so on, at the beginning, I decided, let's start with that most important person. So let me read to you a little bit about Marjorie. She's not one to brag about herself, so let me do the bragging. And I even tried to get her to say more nice things about herself, because I know so many nice things that I have to add a couple to what she wrote for her introduction. Marjorie has been a Toastmaster since September of 1992. She is currently a club officer and has served her clubs as an officer for several years. She's also held leadership positions in area, division, district, and actually more than one district, if I'm not mistaken. Tonight, she'll be sharing her experience on being a member and serving the member with leadership skills. She was Toastmaster of the Year for the entire district, 2000. These are my words, not hers. 2011, 2012. And a number of years ago, we started a program called the Outstanding Member for clubs. And each club got to choose one outstanding member from their club for that each year. We kept track of all those manuals and kept all those names. And Marjorie has been chosen more times as the outstanding member of her club, many times, multiple clubs during a year. In fact, she has been the outstanding member of her club twice as many times as whoever is in second place. Our first speaker, the most important person in the room, speaking leadership from the member perspective, Marjorie Benesch.
Mr. Jameson, our Master of Ceremonies, attendees at Speakers Bureau, every one of you, is this a first time attending Speakers Bureau for anyone? Raise your hand or put oh, Jose, raise your hand, put a hand up, first time, page 2, anybody, first time? I see a couple of first times, hands up. Jennifer, I see, and
You can get them back to 0.
that's it. Has anyone been a Toastmaster less than 6 months? Is anyone new to Toastmasters? Been a Toastmaster less than 6 months or less than a year? A hand up. I don't see any hands up. What about never holding a club officer role? Has any of our attendees tonight not hold any club officer role? I do not see any hands up. It looks like, oh, Jennifer, I see Jennifer's hand up. New to Speakers Bureau and not holding a club officer. For the rest of us who have held club officer positions, perhaps you'll be able to take a tip or two back to your club. Even though this is May, this is club officer election month, and I know we need club officers. I am not going to recruit for club officers. I am here to cheer our members. And as a member, you may be a POT someday, a plain old Toastmaster, or you may be a PYT someday, a plain young Toastmaster, not holding any officer role, just a member. As a member, you are a leader. You are the most important leader in your club as a member. Something for us officers to remember to tell our new members. You have a story in you. You have a life experience to bring to your Toastmaster meeting. We need your stories. We need your life experience. Whether you are a 20-something or a, like me, 60 plus something, you have a life experience and stories to bring to your club. Don't hold back. Don't keep them in. Let them go. As a member, also as a club officer, you want to be an example to your club, to your members. But even as a POT or a PYT, a plain old Toastmaster, a plain young Toastmaster, you can be an example to the other members of your club. As I said, you have life experiences to share, and you've been a leader. You may still be a leader, either personally, family, community, or career. You are and will be a leader. So share your life experience and set an example to the other members. Bring your story to your membership. I joined Toastmasters because I couldn't answer a simple table topic question. It was the first time at a Toastmaster meeting as a guest. The member who invited me was one of my customers from work. She had invited me and invited me and invited me several months, a year or so. Finally, one day, I wasn't doing anything early in the morning. We met at 6:30 in the morning before going to work. Yes, I'll join you at your club meeting. I was a guest. The Toastmaster explained how table topics work and asked me if I wanted to participate. My answer, let me listen to a couple examples first, and I'll see. A couple of table topic speakers spoke. Again, I was asked, well, Marjorie, would you like to participate? Yes, I think I can do this. They asked a question. I stood up and went, I would, yes, enjoy, I think, yeah, good, sat down. I think 15 seconds, maybe more, not more than 4 words, but a couple dozen ums. And the very next meeting, I went back and signed up. I spoke to strangers in my work all the time, and I didn't think I'd have a problem speaking to strangers. But in that official capacity, in that formal setting of an informal Toastmaster club, I couldn't answer a basic, simple table topic question. In fact, when I sat down, I couldn't even remember what the question was. But driving to work, I remembered what the question was. And then I said, I could have answered it. I knew something to say. You know what? It was like 30 minutes, 40 minutes later when it dawned on me, I could answer that. You know? So yes, I joined. A few years later, I won the table topic speech contest at the area level and at the division level. I gave myself a pat in the back because I remember when I couldn't get 15 words, then it took me a while to get to speak for 30 seconds, and it took me much longer to speak for 1 minute. So winning at the area and division table topics was quite an accomplishment for me, which I truly enjoyed. As we're saying, as Tom Jameson said, member is the most important person. And as a member, you are a leader to set an example for your club. Some of the ways to set an example, just attend a meeting regularly. Participate in all of the agenda roles. Be willing to fill in at the last minute for any agenda role. I said any. That means even being a speaker. Look ahead at your Pathways project. Always be preparing your next speech. In my humble opinion, go ahead and give your speech even if you don't feel fully polished. In my humble opinion, most speeches would fit more than one projects of the different pathways. So give it again after you've polished it and received the feedback from your evaluators and other members. So always be working on your next speech. Be willing to volunteer at the last minute to fulfill any role. Another tip to remind our new members, explore the Toastmaster International website. It has a plethora of interesting facts and fun ideas. Take the time to explore it. While you're exploring the Toastmaster website, explore pathways, explore the different tutorials. Look ahead at all of your different projects. Think ahead and plan ahead. And work through each project carefully in your pathways. Don't just skim through it and say, I got it. Ponder, give it some thought and reflection. Work through it. Another way to be a member, setting an example, especially a new member, encourage them to attend your club executive meetings. All clubs are having officers meetings, aren't they? If not, once a month, once every 6 weeks, or every other month. Invite your new members to your officer meeting so they can get a broader picture of what Toastmaster has to offer and what Toastmasters is. Encourage new members to ask questions. Encourage all members to join the meeting ahead. Open your Zoom meeting early. Encourage everyone to join in the Zoom ahead of time. Encourage them to ask questions, especially encourage new members to ask questions. If time allows during the meeting, you might want to set aside some time for questions and answers to get everyone involved. Attending the officers' meetings, exploring the website, exploring pathways, encouraging members to go beyond their comfort zone and participate next year when speech contest comes around. Even if it's as simple as table topics, encourage participation in the speech contest. Have members set the example by sharing what they've learned previously when they've been a contest participant. Another thing to remind new members and all members, share your success stories. If you've put your Toastmaster skills to work outside of your club, within your family, your community, at work, you have a success story. Take the time to share your Toastmaster success stories from beyond the club with your club members. Again, before the call to order, in the social time, or during the meeting time when there's Q&A. Share your success stories. As a member, you are the most important person. As a plain old Toastmaster or a plain young Toastmaster, set the example, be the example for your officers, for your fellow members, for your club, because a member is where it's at. And here, as a member, we are a leader because leaders are made here at Toastmasters. Mr. Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Marjorie.